Hey guys, appreciate you coming out, covering us. Certainly a painful loss on Saturday, but we had a good day of meetings yesterday. Learned from it, and we've moved on. And we got a great opportunity Saturday out in East Lansing against Michigan State. Really good football team. They've lost 6 games, all of them to ranked opponents. And they're, I think, a really well-balanced, complementary team. Offensively, the quarterback, too, Childs, is a tremendous athlete. Really a quarterback that you can see is just getting better and better each week. We recruited him. We're very familiar with him. We really wanted him. He ended up going to Oregon State, and now he's at Michigan State, but somebody that we really thought was an excellent player. Their running backs, both of them, Carter and Lynch Adams, who we know him very well. He was here when we first arrived. Then the receivers, 3, Foster, and then the true freshman, Marsh, 6. I mean, they're really good players. So have our hands full there. Offensive line is big. Bruising group, Big Ten group. D-line, you flip over the other side, very big, stout group. Very good against the run. And then last week they got after the passer. Number 2, the rush, Bogle, can really be disruptive in his pass rush stuff. The 2 linebackers are really good players. Halliday, 27, he seems like he's been there forever. He's a throwback guy. I love the way no gloves, no tape, no nothing. He just goes out and plays ball. And then Turner, the kid from Wisconsin, has really found a home there and is doing well. The back end, they've had some injuries, but Coach Rossi, who we all know well, is in our tree, is an excellent football coach, and you can see that he's got him playing this defense really well. So, which is a testament to him in his first year to be able to get that done. So, and then in the kicking game, their kicker and punter are both, top in the country. So I think it's a huge challenge going on the road, playing a team that's certainly motivated with bowl aspirations, but I don't worry about the other team. I learn about the other team. We use it to educate ourselves, but our team has overcome adversity all season, and they'll overcome it again. That's how we're going to approach the week and get ready to go out there and play a great Big Ten football game. Questions?
Kind of going off of what you just said about overcoming adversity, I mean, how do you feel like, I guess, what have you seen from them all season, the way that they've handled this, and how do you feel like it's prepared them to handle this moment right now, turning the page quickly on a loss like what happened the other day?
Yeah, I think that's what, the chop is all about. People want to think that it's some kind of slogan. It's not. It's a way of life. And to be able to keep hitting that spot over and over again, no matter if it's good or bad. And we've had a lot, with the injuries and all those things, we've had a lot of things that can test your will, test your focus. And I think our guys have done a very good job. Here's another opportunity. The injury situation, I do that on the availability report, but it is what it is. Nothing you can do about it.
What was your self-evaluation like after the game and your decisions at the end of the game, specifically calling a timeout on the kick? In hindsight, did you address any of that through self-reflection, or what was that process like?
Yeah, nothing's changed since last time we talked. Right, I've literally, with the team and myself, we're moving on. We've moved on. Actually, we're not moving on. We've moved on. We've got a huge challenge in front of us. But yeah, since I last saw you.
It seems like the past 2 weeks we've seen a bit of an uptick in some of those defensive backfield penalties. Is there anything in particular you can point to as something that you're trying to remedy that, or is it kind of like the wide receivers that you faced, anything that you've noticed?
I think it's a great question. I think it has a combination of all those things. I think situationally, the receivers we've played, those are 2 elite groups of receivers that we faced, but we're going to be facing another group this week. We've gotten a little handsy, which you can't do. We got to remedy it for sure, because it was a factor for sure.
With all the injuries you've had, especially on the defensive side of the ball, how difficult is it to do what you want to do always, and how many adjustments do you have to make both in the moment but throughout the week to be able to supplement or augment that?
Yeah, it is difficult. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not, but that's why you're a coach. That's our job, is to figure it out. Coach Arasimiak, myself, the defensive staff, we have to figure it out. And as the game goes, sometimes you lose players in the game, and sometimes you lose a lot of players in the game. And when it's at the same position, that's a struggle. And you got to really think hard. Okay, how are we going to do this? Now, we plan all that in advance. We go through. We have depth charts, things, how you're going to sub, but. Just because you have the names on the list doesn't mean that they are at the same preparation level that the guys that were 1 or 2 spots ahead of them. Otherwise, they would have been at that spot. But that's what team football's about. And when the guy gets his chance, we just do everything we can to make sure they're prepared to go do it. It's hard, yeah.
As Kyle Monangai goes into his last regular season game, I guess, how do you kind of put his time here into perspective, and especially coming in as a pretty under-recruited player to where he is now, playing at the level he is now? I guess, what has he meant for this program over these last couple of years?
Yeah, I'm going to save the big picture stuff for the end next week, but Kyle has just been a tremendous player for us over and over and over again. You talk about answering the bell, but that's what we all see. The fans see, you guys see. What people don't see is how he prepares each and every day in this building. And what a great example he is, not only to the running back room, but to our team. And, I'm excited that we get 2 more chances to do it together. This one, we're going to need him big time, right? We're going into a 3:30 kick. Right now, the temperature is going to be high of 27, right? It's always nice and no wind ever out there in East Lansing, right? It'll be Big Ten football at its best, and 2 teams that got a lot on the line. So I'm excited about it.
With the way your offense is now operating at a high level, it seems, do you feel like you guys are playing the type of complementary football that you've expected from this program?
At times we have, yeah. I think the offense is improving. To take off on the first part of your question, complementary football is really hard to play. I didn't think we did a great job in special teams this week. We have it other times this year. This week was not one of those. We have to be better in our special teams. And that is the bridge between the O and the D. And when that doesn't work, then complementary football, it's very hard to play complementary football. I thought our specialists did a good job. I didn't think our special teams did a good job, but that's something that we've dealt with and we've moved on, and we'll be better this week.
Just touching on Kyle, I think that final drive that you guys had, he didn't have a single carry, which is unusual for the offense, but he had several key blocks, picking up in particular the blitzes. Can you just talk about him and his pass protection and what he brings?
Yeah, he's a very good pass protector. Not only the physical act of pass protecting, but understanding the schemes, understanding the defenses, the blitzes, the coverages. He's a very, very, like I said, you don't get to see it, but the way he prepares is a great example for our whole team, all the way through the event. Up, Friday nights at the hotel, Saturdays, during the game. He really is a professional in that way.
We'll go Pat and Alec to finish.
Eric Rodgers looked like he was in a lot of pain at the end of the game. Is he okay? Do you foresee him playing this week? Or?
Yeah, as you know, just injury or the availability reports what I go to. Eric's okay. So for the fans that are concerned, he's okay, but we'll get into the availability when it happens on Saturday.
Final question.
Like you mentioned, a guy like Kony Adams, you only had him for 1 year, wasn't the starter in that 1 year. Did you kind of see that in him of being a potential Big Ten lead back in the 1 year?
I did. Yeah, I was disappointed when he left. I liked the young man, and I also really liked the football player. And I can remember exactly where I was when he called me to tell me he was leaving. I was truly disappointed, and really tried to keep him. But he just, I got it. I understood why. He had this guy by the name of Pacheco in front of him, and he's a pretty good player too. But it's not like I've stayed in touch with him, but I have a little bit, and I really respect him. He's a hard-working kid. He's a really tough football player, and I love the way he played, and I love what he did. He was a team guy. So I was disappointed when we lost him, and I'm not surprised that he's had success and that he's having success now. So he's someone we have to stop for sure. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.